Hari Om. It is with the greatest gratitude and my heartfelt expression of love that I extend this video and the onset of all these videos that I'm sharing with you, the community, as an expression of gratitude towards my teacher and guru, Dr. Oman Guruji of Paramandan Yoga Research Institute based in Indore, India, and all the faculty that work with him, Dr. Shweta, Lokesh, Ravindra, and Meghna, and my dear cohort peers, Vikashi, Anna, Anna, Mariana. And we all practice, ask questions, contemplate, and learn more. Namaste. My journey of yoga is one that has been out of necessity and not necessarily one that started as a very profound yogic practice. I was exposed to yoga as a teen, seeing a woman on TV doing some yoga. I thought it looked really cool. However, it didn't really occur to me until much, much later in my life, the profound implications that yoga can have on someone's life. And after a lifetime of accumulated stressors, traumas, mental illness, and substance abuse, in 2016, I was facing the reality of changing my path or continuing on. I chose to change my path, and I chose to take a much more difficult path, but one that has ultimately been the most rewarding. And that path was embarking on the yogic journey. And as many of us in the West approach yoga, it's typically from the asana or the postural point and perspective. And that is exactly where I thought I was going. However, now looking back in retrospect, I learned so much more in those beginning days at the ashram in Rishikesh called Yan Yog Breath Ashram, where I spent a month basically in rehab and learning how and why and what yoga all encompasses. And if yoga is new to you, yoga is more than just asana or the postures. Yoga is a vast, expansive body of knowledge that has been articulated in scriptures dating back 10,000 years. Prior to that, it was only recorded in an oral tradition through memorization. So many of the scriptures and texts are time immemorial, meaning they go back to the beginning of human existence. And these scriptures come from the area located in India, which we call India now, but is referred to as Hindustan in the pre-British conquering of this place. And many of the teachings are based in the Sanskrit translations and transliterations of these ancient scriptures. There are profound contemplative practices, meditation practices, and then, of course, the physical practices, which help to bridge the body. Many of us in the West are only familiar with our physical body, but in yoga, you learn that there are three parts of your being: the body, the mind, and the soul. And it is through union of those three that we find happiness. Yoga quite literally means to unite, to yoke, or to join. And that is what yoga is. Yoga has been around for a very long time, as I stated earlier, and many of the practices that I contemplate and learn from my teachers and gurus are shared through the eyes of Krishna, through the Bhagavad Gita, shared through Patanjali, through the Yoga Sutras, who was one of the first teachers, shared through the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and then, of course, through innumerable other resources. It's my intention to infuse all of these practices into this accumulation here on YouTube so that you can have both the spiritual understanding the practical application, some of the more known and lesser known techniques, and then also citing where that finds itself in literary works and also in medical research. So there's quite a bit of medical research now to support a lot of these yogic practices that have been around forever. It's also interesting to go through this process as a student. I'm a grad student in 3 areas of deep interest. So in yoga, in a yoga therapy program, which is a 2-year program, graduate program. I'm also in a social work program where I'm a counselor in training. And then finally in a doctoral program of a yoga, which means life science or life union. And that is through Samskrithan University in combination with the Paramandan Research Institute. And all of these practices and recordings that I'm sharing with you are an accumulation of a lot of this different knowledge, information. Sometimes it's reviewing different concepts. Sometimes it's diving deep into certain words or mantras or practices. And sometimes it's just a guided practice. All of which I think you'll find a rich understanding of not only who you are, but where you're hoping to go with your own yoga journey, because everyone's is different. But the overall goal is to relieve suffering and find happiness in this appearance in life. I want to extend my supreme gratitude to all of my teachers. So in yogic traditions, we always extend gratitude before every single offering. And my words and my intention behind this program here on YouTube is to share and impart that knowledge with you. So I must extend my deepest gratitude and respect to all my teachers, the current, the past, the future, and all the people that have shared and guided me along the way, which is quite an extensive list. But I want to call out beyond Dr. Aman Guruji, who's my guru, and the Paramandan Yoga Research Institute. I'd also like to call out Gatumji with the Vedanta Institute, the entire group at the Yan Yoga Breath Ashram, the Yoga Renew team, and then also a few additional people that have meant a lot to me through my time and in my journey as both teachers, mentors, family, friends, and supporters. Thank you so much. And with deep gratitude and respect and service for others, thank you. And namaste, which means quite literally, the inner light within me recognizes the inner light within you. Have a beautiful day.